prayers last night, and something came up in conversation. This thing called manic depressive bipolar disorder, and a lot of people suffer from this. It's crazy mood swings. They don't have any peace, and they don't really have peace amongst themselves, in themselves, or with their fellow man. And it's a really bad situation. It's a bad deal for the people who have to suffer from it. And I have a heart for these people. Now, this isn't medical advice, because I know YouTube's going to take this video down as soon as I say what I'm going to say. So I got to be careful in how I say it. But there's a lot of people who are suffering from this. They believe that they're different in some way because they have this chemical imbalance. You see, that's what it is. Manic depressive bipolar disorder is a chemical imbalance in the brain, where the chemicals that allow us to have cohesive thoughts, to be happy at appropriate times, to be sad at appropriate times, they're out of balance, they're out of whack. So a lot of these folks who have manic depressive bipolar disorder, they don't just display these type of attributes. They at inconvenient times for them are angry, sad. I believe, and this isn't medical advice, but I believe this is not a medical disorder, but a spiritual one. And I think there's evidence medically to prove that, because they say it's a chemical imbalance, yet no chemicals are tested at all in the body. There's no blood being drawn to test if these chemicals within the brain are in balance or out of balance. To me, that says that this is a spiritual problem. And they're trying to combat a spiritual problem with natural means. And you can no more combat a spiritual problem by natural medicine than you can a natural problem with spiritual medicine. Well, that's a misnomer, actually. You can, because the spirit is what leads the flesh. So scratch that last part, but you know what I'm saying. Folks, there's a lot of people, like I said, suffering with this. And they believe that they're different. They don't like to interact, or they don't feel like they can interact with people, because they have this problem. Like I said, I believe it's a spiritual problem. This isn't medical advice. I'm not telling people to throw out their medicine, but just if you're suffering from this, really do some self-evaluation and look at it for what it is. Have these doctors who have diagnosed you with this, which is usually not even a doctor that's diagnosing you, but have these people, have they tested the chemicals? Since that's what it is, it's a chemical imbalance. Have they tested these chemicals to make sure that there is an imbalance? 99.9% of the people who have this are going to say no. And pointing this out to someone and them saying that they never really thought about that just made it, it stirred something in me. It stirred something in me. And like I said, there's people out there who are shutting themselves off because they don't believe that they can interact properly. They don't want to interact with people because they'll be made fun of, because they'll have these sudden outbursts or things of that nature. When all in all, it's a spiritual problem. It just makes you think, like these labels that we in medicine we give people, because the medical field. And folks, I'm not saying that sometimes there is some sort of a chemical imbalance that makes people act out. It makes them have a spirit of heaviness. This can be corrected with medicine, but specifically the manic depressive bipolar disorder, I believe there's people suffering when they don't have to, because they take this medicine and they still have the same feelings, but instead of being able to lash out emotionally, they can't lash out at all because their emotions have been seared. They've been cut off. And it's a sad thing to observe. It's a sad thing to see people go through that. They don't feel like anybody can understand them or things of that nature. So I don't know. Lord put this on my heart yesterday and I didn't do anything about it. And I hope it helps somebody. But I suggest you do it, just pray about it. Pray and talk to the Lord, because that's all we have at the end of the day. I love all of y'all. And I'll be with y'all all day today. We're going to have us a blast.